Welcome back to Hello's Insider as we break down Succession Season 3, Episode 2, Mask in Time of War. In this episode, Logan attempts to rally his kids who have to make their own decision about whether they jump ship to Team Kendall. Francesca, it started on a high. Do you think that Episode 2 it has measured up to the opening?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there was so much to unpack in that one, isn't there?
Yeah, so obviously the main focus of the episode is that Shiv, Connor and Roman, and it's quite funny actually because they all do it without telling their dad. So it's like, you know, that these loyalties are skewed. Like it's just them saying like, nope, we're not going around to the traitors kind of thing. And then they all go. It just goes to show how like they like if it was in their best interest they would swap sides, which I thought was quite interesting for saying that there's just such like messed up loyalties on this show.
The entire time they're playing games of Chinese whispers. Like they'll say one thing to someone and then they'll go out the room and they'll say, oh, I just need to make some calls, and then they'll be on the phone and they'll be telling someone else about it. Like Roman telling Jerry about the plans when she's just been made CEO. I was a bit like, what are you doing? Like, because you've played your hand and now you've basically ensured that you physically can't jump ship, which to be honest I don't think you will, but why would you deal your own hand like that? It doesn't make any sense, does it?
I think there's something you said in last week's episode about how Roman self-sabotages. Like I think he doesn't want to be like this. I think he just wants to feel like safe and secure. So the fact that he's like testing the waters with Jerry, like, you know, my brother will look after me, but will you look after me more if I tell you? And then Jerry just saying like, don't do it, Roman, I'll take care of you. And that's like all he needs to hear, because then he doesn't have to do something wayward. So it's like he's like, I think he's just like he thinks he's a lot more of a rebel than he actually is. He just wants the security. Like
when he was saying to Kendall at one bit about Jerry, he was like, yeah, I think she's a good fit. He sounded sincere, and it's not often he sounds sincere, but he was genuinely saying, yeah, I think she's a good fit. And obviously we know they have quite a bizarre relationship anyway, but I think as a person she is quite trustworthy.
So let's go back to talking about like Shiv, Roman, Connor all going to Kendall's to see if it's in their best interest to join Ken. Like I just thought, honestly, it's like they're impaled on their own sword in a weird way, because if they like, Kendall was giving them a good deal. It was like the four of us will do it together. You'll run this division, this division, this division. But they all just still want to be top, like especially Shiv and especially Kendall. And it's like it's like this would have been so beneficial for all of them. They would have been on the side of like righteousness, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like, it would have protected all of their reputations. Like, it would have gone down so well. And I don't think it's about betraying their dad. I think it's more that they fancy their chances better at the power if they stick with Logan. So it just goes to show how much I guess it's like, value power over family at this point. But it's like, how did they ever get to that?
I know, it's so weird. And Kendall was having his buzzword vomit, wasn't he, in that like massive monologue that he gave them in his daughter's bedroom. And although it looked as if a lot of it went over their heads, and they were, you know, especially Roman was like eye rolling behind him, but I do feel like, especially when you can see like the camera like pans to Shiv, like she is thinking about it, and I think she knows that he's right, and I think she knows that because of all the stuff before, they are kind of on like a sinking ship if they stick with him, because of just the way the world's going at the moment and everything that's tied to them, and all of the allegations. Like, it doesn't look good.
And then the conclusion of the episode is Logan telling Shiv that basically he's made up a role for her, and he's basically said that she's it, but she's not it. She just has to watch Jerry, and like they're basically using Jerry as a puppet, but like Shiv's the real deal behind it. Do you think that's enough for her?
I don't know. Her face seemed to look as if it probably would be, because they had a little smirk at each other, didn't they, in the back of the car? But she's kind of been here before. Like the whole of season 2 was basically him saying to her, "Oh yeah, it's going to be you." We're just not saying it yet. And then it turns around, and then it completely. And so I don't know that she'll trust him, but I think she probably thinks that she doesn't have. It's either that, or go with Kendall, who is outright saying he's not going to give her the top job, which is what she wants. So I feel like she probably doesn't really feel as if she has a choice.
Yeah. Well, we will find out what happens next in next week's episode. Like, where do you think things are going to go?
Oh, I really don't know. I'm excited. I haven't seen episode 3, so I'm very, very, very intrigued to see what happens.
I just feel like Kendall really needs a win at this point. So I'm holding out hope that that some of the siblings are going to have some sort of massive change of heart. But I mean, I feel like we might have to wait a while for that though.
I think
more drama.
Yeah, I know we mentioned last week about Connor, but I think he's going to really go off piste.
I hope so. I hope so. I can't wait to see what he does. I'm such a conhead. That's all we've got time for today. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next week for episode 3. Bye.
Bye.